Let's see. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Today we get to talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, habits of mind. And I was just telling Melanie that for a long time I've been studying and researching on habits of mind from my work that I used to do as an education researcher and one of the founders of the Council on 21st Century Learning. We worked with school districts and different schools doing professional development for teachers and studies on that sort of thing. And so it turns out that, well, Carol Dweck has done some important research on brain plasticity. So she conducted some studies with two different 8th grade math students. And in one group, that was the control group, they just got their regular math lessons. And on the other group, they got a lesson on brain plasticity and how the brain is not fixed, but we can create new neural pathways and new way, we can develop different parts of the brain and increase our ability in particular areas. And if we just focus on it and work at it and apply some persistence to it. And it turns out that the students that got that lesson in brain plasticity and talked about creating a growth mindset did outperformed the control group by a very impressive margin, a significant margin, just by thinking that they could actually change the way their mind works. Because it's very easy for us to fall into thinking that, oh, I'm no good at math, or I can't do meditation, or whatever it is that we think about how we are as how our brain works, for example, really does affect the way our brain works. So this notion of having a growth mindset, of knowing that we can challenge our brains in certain ways, we can cultivate certain habits of mind, and that can make a difference in how we experience the world and how we perform in the world. So it's I think it's a really important body of research in terms of human learning and adult learning, especially because it's easy to believe that, oh, this is the way I always have been and this is the way I always will be. But even as mature adults, we can alter the way our brain works. Another important area of research on this is done by Arthur Costa and Bena Kalick. And they identified through research a number of habits of mind that are actually beneficial for learning and for working with a challenging problem for which there is no immediate answer. So much of our lives are like that, where there's ambiguity or we don't really know how to work with a particular situation. And so these researchers identified several habits of mind that work for people and also create resilience. So, we all know of people who have endured a lot of great setbacks, but seem to just thrive anyway. Even though they had a lot of things going against them, they were able to rise above their circumstances. And so that kind of resilience is something that is a benefit of these useful habits of mind. And I'll just share a few of those with you now. Being able to think and communicate with clarity and precision, managing impulses, gathering data through all the senses. And we've started to work on that a little bit in some of our guided meditations, to pay attention to the sense perceptions which also happens to bring us into the present moment, which is really helpful for not getting caught up in the mind's concepts or spinning stories about what's going on, or about how we're doing. And so it's includes some surprising things like finding humor, responding to the world with wonderment and awe. So I think it's interesting to look at this list and to realize that these remaining open to continuous learning, for example. I know this is something that your group is doing through various kinds of classes that you're taking related to wellness, which is, supportive, but it's also just, a very beneficial habit of mind that people who cultivate these traits and work on this, and, we know from the brain plasticity stuff that you can change the way you can change your habits of mind. So it's not that you're either born with these and you thrive and you become a successful person in life, or not. It's that we can say, oh, thinking flexibly, what does that mean? How do I do that? And just even consciously working on something like that can make a difference. So I just wanted to share that this morning as a way to think about the kinds of things that we're talking about in this class. So cultivating a sense of mindfulness, calmness, ability to go with the flow in the sense of, working with obstacles, persisting even in the face of difficulty and challenging circumstances. All right, so let's take a comfortable position that we can hold for a bit. And you can feel your connection to your chair, feel your feet on the floor, and let that be grounding, sink your roots into the earth. And from those roots, like a tree, you can rise up through the spine with the crown of the head reaching for the sky. Just allow that to happen. You don't actually have to muscle it. Just think about the length and strength of the spine. And bring your attention into the whole body. Just feel the body in space, in this room, connected to the earth and to the sky as well. Feel the body breathing. The eyes can be lowered or closed if that's comfortable for you. Notice if there are any sounds in the environment coming into your awareness now. You might hear the hum of your computer or outside noises. Now let's move the awareness to the sense of smell and taste. You may or may not notice anything through those senses, but just see if there's anything there. Look with curiosity. Now let's notice if there are any felt sensations, like the feeling of fabric beneath your hands, if your hands are on your thighs, the temperature of the room, the feeling of your clothes on your skin. And if the eyes are closed, open them for a moment and see if you can identify several different colors or shapes or forms in the room. What do you notice? And now, once again, with the eyes lowered or closed, let's just relax and turn our attention to the mind stream, thoughts that are coming and going in the mind. And with a sense of great friendliness and curiosity, just notice what kind of activity or thoughts that are coming up. Are there any particular textures or feeling tones present in the mind stream? In terms of feeling, what is present for you now? Are there any feelings in particular? And once again, return to a sense of the whole body. If you notice any patterns of holding, tension, or discomfort, let's breathe into those now. And with the exhale, let go. Continue to do that for a moment. Encouraging a feeling of relaxed alertness and well-being. gratitude for our physical well-being, for the supports we have in our environment and our community. And with that, if I had a bell, I would ring it now, but it's in the other room. So we can open our eyes